So yeah, coming to a standing or seated position, and then we'll, just to start our practice, we'll do our 6 breaths out. So we'll just put our hands on our bellies and breathe out 6 times. Hi Deborah.
Hi there.
Nice to see you. We're just breathing out 6 times.
Okay, thank you.
So just when you're ready, taking a deep breath in and then breathing out. Amazing. And we'll just come to closing our eyes, and we're gonna breathe in, coming from the top, the coccyx, taking our awareness all the way over the head to the top of the mouth, and then breathing out, we're gonna go all the way down back to the coccyx. So the 2 energetic channels that will follow 2 of 8 will be just, the first one will be, hi Zoe, first one will be going up the spine into the mouth. So as you breathe in, you can just as if you're kind of stepping up bit by bit, just take the awareness one bit at a time. So it can either be stepwise or it can be kind of fluid, taking it to the top of the mouth, and then the tongue connects to the other one. And if you want to do the restrictive breathing, feel free. Otherwise, you can do the breathing without sound. And beginning, taking the awareness to the coccyx and breathing in for 1, 2, 3, taking up the spine, 4, over the head, 5, and 6. Breathing out, down the body, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing all the air out, 6. Breathing in from the coccyx, travelling up the spine, up the back of the neck, 4, 5, 6 to the top of the mouth, and breathing out, down the chest, abdomen, and back to the coccyx. And breathing in, all the way up the spine, over the head, to the top of the mouth, and breathing out. Back to the coccyx. Breathing in, and out. Breathing all the air out of the lungs. Breathing in, over the head, past the back of the ears, filling the lungs and breathing out. Last breath, breathing in, up the spine, the back of the neck, over the head, and breathing out. All the way down, and breathing normally. So we're going to do the same breathing, and this time we'll look at another of the energetic channels going inside the body, all the way in the middle of the body, going up from the around where the belly button is to the top of the head. Hi Natasha, hi Zoe. And then going back down to where the belly button is. So breathing 6 in and out. If the counts don't work for you, just adjust however is good for you. So coming back, taking the awareness to the middle of the body at the height of the belly button, and breathing in up the middle towards the top of the head, all the way up, filling the lungs, and breathing out. Breathing out all the air, and breathing in and out. And breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, filling the lungs and breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in. Taking the awareness up the center of the body to the top of the head, and breathing out. Down. Breathing in. Relaxing any parts of the body that you can relax, and breathing out. And last breath, breathing in. Filling the lungs completely, and breathing out. Emptying the lungs. Great. So we can come to standing, and we're just gonna start by, lift you up. So we're just gonna start by rubbing our hands together, just creating some heat in the hands. So once you feel some warmth in the hands, you can take your hands and putting the palms just under the eyes, letting your hands hold the head and letting your head be held by the palms. And you can rub the hands again if you want. Should just do that one more time. So just letting the weight of the head rest in the palms. And then when you're ready, you can take the fingers over the top of the head and just press as you go. So just taking some points, pressing on the neck. And once you get to the bottom of the neck, you can take one hand and really relax the wrist. And like that, you can massage from the shoulder all the way down the arm to the hand. And then on the way back, we'll just take it to the inside, and then again using our arm to reach, taking the shoulder and just having the wrist really relaxed. So we're waking up the nerves in the body and bringing blood to the muscles. Taking it back here. And then again you can press. So however, we have a lot of nerves here, so however you're feeling, pressing either with a lot of pressure or just a little. And then we can take the hands and just with relaxed hands, just hitting the two big muscles on either side of the spine. And then rubbing this area here. And again, just feel how much pressure feels good. And then finally we'll do the legs. So again, just hitting first the front of the legs, all the way to the toes, coming back on the inside, then coming to the sides of the legs, coming back on the inside, and then the back of the legs. And we can shake out each leg in turn. Great. And then what we can do is we can swing our arms. When you're ready, swinging from each side. Relaxing the shoulder, consciously relaxing any tension in the body that you can. And then from the ground lifting up. begin. So here, letting the arm get nice and tall. Great. So we're going to just start off with a little bit of expansion and contraction. So coming into our three arches, we have our arch of the legs, the slight tucking, creating the arch of the back, and then our arch of the hands, and then we imagine we're a balloon and that the air enters through the belly button, blows up our entire body, and then the air exits and our entire body deflates. So we expand and contract. And just pay attention to the visualization. So the air enters the belly button and leaves through the belly button. And each part of the body expands and contracts, and then we can, with the same visualization, just doing different movements and going at the pace that feels good, expanding and contracting. So every part of the body, the shoulders, the head, we visualize the legs expand and contract. The spine expands and contracts. So this is quite a simple visualization, but it's very difficult. So if it feels weird, no worries. Just treat it like a game. You can choose the color that your balloon is and just see your body blow up and deflate. And then we can take the arms to the side. And we expand, the pinkies face up. And just becoming aware of the whole body expanding. And contracting. And then taking it upwards and in. So I'll maybe just mute everyone so that any sounds or muted. But feel free if at any point you have a question. Cool. So we'll just get back to the walking. So if you remember from last week, we started off with our figure of 8. So our horizontal figure of 8. If we had someone looking, if you guys were looking at me from up here, you could see that the weight was traveling in a figure of 8 here. So moving forward to the side of the foot, to the back, here, forward, back. And just for learning purposes, we can split these into circles and diagonals. So in reality, the diagonals are a curved line, but just for simplicity while we're learning, we can think of this as a diagonal and this is a circle. So if you want, you can take your hands to help you see, taking it to the front, of one foot to the side, diagonally across, to this back, diagonally. Does this make sense? So I hope that's clear. That we have our figure of 8, and when we walk, so like we did last time, when we walk, we have the diagonal taking us forward, the circle, and then the diagonal. So if you have space, you can take one or more steps with this figure of 8. So first doing it on the spot, taking your figure of 8 to one side and to the other. So the weight isn't completely just on that one point, it's just slightly to the point, and it's really our center that's guiding. So with the center we move. And then everyone together. Circle, diagonal, circle, diagonal, moving the weight forward. And then when we come backwards, it's the other way. Maybe move back. So again together, moving in our figure of 8. And then circle, the weight sinks down. Diagonal, we transfer the weight over. Circle sinks down. Diagonal, the weight comes over. Diagonal. And then taking it back. So on the way back, we can just relax the arms, taking it back. So we'll just do it one more time and then I'll check in that it makes sense. So just taking our circles and diagonals. So the point where if we imagine the point where most of the weight is, has a little crayon or pencil and it's making a little line on the floor, that would make an 8 eventually as it's moving. So it's making the circle and then the diagonal. And then we have a circle and the diagonal. Circle, diagonal. Great. I'll just have a little look. Is it clear, this figure of 8? Yeah, sorry.
Are we always moving, like it looked like you were always putting heel first rather than toe? Is that always the way that you move?
Yep, so it's a nice observation. It's the reason why it's the heel. It's kind of as if we have something that we're kind of like chucking into the ground at like 45 degrees, around 45 degrees. So we have the heel, and then the whole foot comes down, and then the weight comes to the toes. So although the heel comes down first, the whole foot comes down with all the weight still in the other leg, and then the weight goes to the toes and round. If that is clear. Yeah. Okay. Patricia, did you have a question as well?
It's really hard doing it backwards. Just about going forward, and then I think I don't know where I'm going now.
Yeah. So we'll do backwards now because actually the direction changes. So, like Zoe, what you were saying, even though the heel comes first, and kind of, I'm on a carpet, so it's not as easily seen, but usually it's like as if you're digging something into a chisel or something into the ground so that it sticks, and then you have the foot down, and then the weight comes in to the front, round, and to the front. Whereas if you're moving backwards, if you're moving backwards, it goes the opposite way. So rather than going to the front of the foot, round to the back, we actually go to the back of the foot, round to the front, and then to the other back of the foot. So we'll just do it together. So if you have space coming to the front, if it's just one step or even a really small step, that's great. You can practice this outside during the week. So we can also practice this standing, so just switching the direction of the figure of 8. So now it goes, I hope this isn't confusing too much, but it goes to the back of the heel, round to the toe, diagonally, but this time from toe to heel rather than from heel to toe. So going to this side, round, to this side, round. So does everyone feel like that makes sense? Okay, great. So we're doing our figure of 8. So then when we're coming backwards, this time our toe comes first, the whole foot comes down, all the weight is still in the other leg, and then we go from the toe to the heel, from the toe to the heel. So the figure of 8 is the other way round. So taking it to the heel, toe, heel, toe. Is that more clear, Patricia?
That'll take a bit of work, I think.
Yeah, no worries. So we'll do it just a few times together. So this is obviously a lot to think about, but just follow with your attention, just follow the point of the weight. So we'll just do it together. So first standing, we'll come forward. Hello. Hello. So we're just doing a figure of 8 standing. So if it helps with your fingers, feel free. Otherwise, you can also just take your hands on your belly. So coming in a figure of 8, relaxing the hips, relaxing any part of the body. And then just following the weight. So following the weight travel to the toe, round the heel, to the toe, round the foot. And we do a diagonal and a circle. And then when we come back, we do the heel first, to the toe, heel, to the toe, heel. Great. And again, we can first do our forwards 8. So we go from the weight being just between our legs here. We bring more of the weight forward to the toe. We bring it round the foot to the heel, diagonally across from the heel to the other toe, round the foot to the heel, and diagonally across. So just following the weight with your attention. And then coming back to the center, and this time we'll do the version of as if we're walking backwards. So coming to the center, and then we come first to the heel, round towards the toe, diagonally from the toe to the heel, round and round. So coming back to the center. So you guys have got this. It'll become a lot more clear as we do it. So doing our forwards motion, starting coming to the toe, round the foot to the heel, toe, round the foot to the heel. So we do a diagonal and a circle, a diagonal and a circle. And then we'll just start our walk doing a circle, a diagonal, the weight transfers to the front, a circle, and then a diagonal, weight transfers. And then on the way back, we just take the weight to the heel, toe, diagonal, to the heel, to the toe, diagonally, and closing. So you can shake out the legs if you feel. So for this, the reason that we do it this way with this figure of 8 is just to allow the movement to stay continuous. So for example, if I take my weight on this foot, just keep it here, and then place my foot, there's a discontinuation of the movement. The movement becomes, I have to hold my balance on this foot and then hold my balance on this foot. Does that make sense? So in order to keep the movement continuous, the weight flows, and this way, when we're moving, we always have our continuous movement. So I'm not sure how clear. We'll just do a thumbs up this way and this way for how clear is the figure of 8 on the ground. Thumbs up, so cool, and some thumbs this way. So shall we go over again what the figure of 8 looks like, what it should be? Or yeah, if you...
Can I ask a question? See I think it might just be a brain thing, but going backwards, are you changing the direction of the figure of 8 going backwards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So So if you want, you can, to kind of keep the movement continuous, you can do a tiny swirl at the front, but just you can also just take it the other way. So say if I was going, if I was looking down on myself walking and I was going this way, I would then go this way.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I think it's just a right left brain thing, practice.
Yeah. No worries. It will become, it's also as you kind of practice and do it without having, once you've done it a few times, it'll just become so much more natural as well. You'll just naturally do it without really thinking about it. But at the start, it maybe takes a little bit to take your awareness to keep the movement being continuous. So we'll just maybe do it a couple more times together, and then we'll do a little shake out, relax the body. So even just now, you can make sure your body's nice and relaxed. Your legs, give yourself a little shake. And here as well, even though we're just practicing, you can just keep the awareness of having the upper body nice and relaxed, natural and open looking, so kind of avoid anything that makes you come into any uncomfortable or unusual situations, but positions rather. So we'll just come here and we just have our hips nice and relaxed and stacked, and we just remember our arch, and then in a nice and relaxed way we can start to move. So just take it as slow or as fast as you want. So as we would walk forward, we would do a circle from the toe to the heel, a diagonal, a circle from the toe to the heel, a diagonal from the heel to the toe. And then when you're ready, you can walk. So here, taking the diagonal, the circle, the diagonal, the circle, the diagonal, and then changing. First the heel, then the toe, and coming back. So just doing that a couple of times. And if it feels too hard to think of the figure of 8, you can just do a few, keeping the continuation of the movement, and see how that feels, how you would naturally, where does your weight naturally go when you walk backwards and forwards if you want to do a continuous movement. So doing our figure of 8. And then we come forward, circle, forward, and our other leg always comes to the center before coming out. And taking it in. So we'll just do one more walk, and for those that feel like they want to, the circle here corresponds to a sinking. So if I'm doing a circle here on my right side or left side, whatever side I'm on, as I'm doing the circle, the weight sinks down into the ground. As then I'm doing the diagonal, I'm moving, and then the weight sinks. So we'd sink here, and then sink. So sink down the leg, the hip relaxes. So we'll do one more walking, starting off with our figure of 8. taking the awareness to the leg and we come forward, circle, forward, circle, forward, and then taking it backwards, first to the heel, and bringing it in. Nice work, everyone. So we'll just shake it out. So similar to the walking, we have a rotation. So if you kind of see this rotation here of my head, or kind of my upper body, kind of like there's a pole here, and I would be rotating in the same as I walk. There's a rotation in this part of the body here. So any movements, for example, in any of the forms, in any styles of Tai Chi, there's a rotation rather than just a coming forward. But we'll go more into that. So just relaxing the body. Relaxing the shoulders. And then from the ground, the arms staying completely relaxed and kind of unmoving. From the ground up, we just press up so that the shoulders come up. And then from here, pressing up even more, letting the arm lengthen up all the way. Before coming back.